Hello, my name is Steve Harrold and I'm the instructor. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to play by ear. I want to start off first by saying I talked to one of my students and they were asking me, they said, can a person learn to play by ear, or do they have to be born with a gift to play by ear? Well, answering that question, you don't have to be born with this gift. As a matter of fact, when I first started playing piano, I had to play by ear. And then later on, I went to college and learned music. And so I've experienced the best of both worlds. And to make a long story short, I'll give you my definition of what it means to play by ear. To play by ear actually is having a sensitivity to the music elements of pitch or frequency, or some people call notes. A lot of people have been exposed to music at a young age, from a baby up, or been born to a musical family, and they acquire this sensitivity. And then some people, I believe, inherit this ability. If you were born to a musical family and your grandfather, your grandmother, or somebody in your family had this ability, I believe that this ability can be passed through the genes. But however, whether you acquired this ability through being exposed to music, or if you were just born with this ability, I believe that it's a sensitivity to the music elements. However, to make a long story short, because that'd take all night, you can learn to play by ear, and I'm going to teach you how to do this. So that's good news for you if you have no musical ability and you didn't acquire this and you wasn't born with it. I'm going to show you how to play by ear. All right, we're going to start right with the 7 chords that are in the key of C. Okay, I call that the chord system of C major. Okay, there are 7 chords. The first chord is a C major chord. Okay, that's C, E, G. Okay, the next chord is the 2 chord is D, F, A. Okay, that's the 2 chord. The 3 chord is E, G, B. Okay. The 4 chord is F, A, C. The 5 chord is G, B, D. Okay. The 6 chord is A, C, E. And the final chord is B, D, F. Okay. Now, to explain a little bit more, when you're studying the chord system, now we're using the key of C just for reference, but this information can be transposed to the other keys if you know your chords, your major and minor chords. Alrighty. Now, the first chord, and then all these chords are derived from the C major scale. Okay, the first chord is a C major chord. All right, and the one thing you got to know is the 1 chord is always going to be a major chord, no matter where you start at, what scale you use. If you use a A-flat scale, or if you start on A-flat and you build an A-flat major chord, the 1 chord will always be major. Okay. Also, if you start the scale on a D-flat, okay, the 1 chord will always be major. Okay, and with saying that, let's go back to C. The 1 chord is major. The 2 chord is minor. The 3 chord is minor. The 4 chord is minor. I'm sorry, the 4 chord is major. Okay, the 5 chord is major. 6 chord will be minor, and the 7th chord will be diminished. Okay, that's a diminished chord. Alrighty, so let me run through them again. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminish. Okay, if we did that in another key, it would look like this. let's say A flat, using A flat scale. The 1 chord is major, 2 chord minor, the 3 chord minor, the 4 chord would be major, the 5 chord will be major, 6 chord will be minor, okay, and the 7th chord would be diminished. Okay, and I just did that to show you that this information can be transposed to all keys. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the fact that just playing chords like I'm playing it right now is kind of mundane and kind of boring and dull. So throughout learning this, you're going to want to try to make your chords sound a little bit more musical. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you how to take a basic chord and make it more musical. Okay, so let me give you a little technique I call creating a bass line, okay, from a basic chord. Okay, well, how do you do that? What you do is you take your basic chord, okay, and then after you take your basic chord, you find the first note of the chord. You find the first note of the chord, okay, and then what you want to do is you want to move that note all the way down an octave and play it down 1 octave, okay? So you add that to the chord, okay? Okay, which gives you a left hand bass note, okay? All right, now let's do that again. You take the chord, isolate the first note, okay? You find the first note of the chord, and then you slide it down an octave, the same note down 1 octave, and you play it with the chord, okay? And what you want to do is you want to kind of, you know, play musical like this. Get your little rhythm, get your little groove going, okay? Okay, then you want to move to the 2 chord. Okay, that's the 2 chord, it's a minor chord, and then you want to find the first note of the chord and slide it down an octave and then play it with the chord, okay, giving you a sort of like a bass note. Okay, then you want to do the same thing with move over to the next chord, find your bass note, slide it down an octave. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Then you wanna you should be getting a little bit faster with it. Move over, find your note. Okay, and then so on. 5 chord, 6 chord, 7 chord, back to 1. Okay, and you always want to go back to the 1 chord. You when you run through your chords, when you get to the 7, you don't want to just move up, okay, to the 8th. Of the scale, but you want to stay all the way, go back to the 1 chord, okay? That's what we're going to do. So you got your 1 chord with your bass note, 2 chord with your bass note, 3 chord with your bass note, 4 chord with your bass note, 5 chord with your bass note, 6 chord with your bass note, 7 chord, and slide it all the way back to the 1 chord, okay? So now we got all 7 chords. Let's run through them. 1 chord, 2 chord, 3 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, 6 chord, 7 chord, back to 1 chord again. Okay? Now a little exercise you can do to just kind of get some practice with some practical chord playing. Let's just do a little exercise running up and down the 7 chords of C. Okay, so we're gonna start with the 1 chord. Get your little rhythm going. Okay, if you got a drum machine on your keyboard, you can turn it on and just 2 chord. 3 chord. 4 chord. 5 chord. 6th chord. 7th chord. Back to 1 chord. Okay, so we ran through these chords. You want to just take some time and practice finding these chords. Another thing you can do to kind of quiz yourself, just call out a number between 1 and 7 and see how fast you can get your hands there. So I'll just call out a 4 chord. Okay, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we find a note. We got a 4 chord. Okay, let's find a 2 chord. Okay, so you got 1, 2. Okay, that's your 2 chord. Then you want to find your bass note, the octave down. That's your 2 chord. Okay, let's find a 7 chord. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got your 7. You want to get your bass note, the octave down. There you go. That's your 7 chord. Okay, so you want to just quiz yourself like so, and once when you think you have it. And we'll be moving on to the next phase on next week. So come back next week, and we'll have part 2 of playing by ear. All right, guys, that's it for this week. Thank you for tuning in to our piano series that we just began, learning to play by ear. Listen, stick with it, practice hard, and you'll get there. Just be patient. One thing I want to also throw in, first thing you need to, you should already know how to play some basic chords, at least your major, minor, and your diminished chords, to be able to fully access the information in this class. Also, you should know all your notes at the keyboard, and then also you should have a patient spirit. You got to take your time. You're not going to get there overnight. So just practice, 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 and I'll see you next week. And we'll be starting on part 2 of our series, Learn How to Play by Ear. Also, in closing, I want to let you know that each chord, the 7 chords, correspond to the C scale. And each chord falls on a note in the scale. The first note is a C, and so you'll be playing a C major chord. The second note is a D, so you'll be playing a D minor chord. The third note is an E, so you'll be playing an E minor chord. The fourth note is a F, so you'll be playing an F major chord. And the fifth note is a G, so you'll be playing a G major chord. Sixth note is an A, so you'll be playing an A minor chord. And last but not least, the 7th note is a B, so you'll be playing a B diminished. If you know all your other major scales, then you can try to apply this information to some other scales. But until then, practice and have fun, and thank you for tuning in.